Welcome, everyone. What a wonderful day, right? Yes. For our friends from Florida, we ordered this especially for you, so you'd be nice and warm. So I think we did a fine job. Yeah. What a absolutely great day, and we're thankful for everyone that's here. We do have quite a full itinerary here. You can see from your program, so I won't speak for a long time. But I did want to introduce some really special and important folks here at Siena Heights. And so first I'd like to recognize the trustees who are here. I know Margaret Noe. Margaret, our chair, yep, welcome. Yes. Judy Francor. Judy, I saw you. Yep, Judy's in the back here. Welcome, Judy. Scott Hill, who we'll talk about later on as well. Scott, thanks for being here. And then I saw our former trustee, Chris Schmidt, sitting right next to Scott. Yep, Chris. In addition to our trustees, we're also supported by a really great group of individuals, our alumni board of directors and saintly supporters, and I know we have representation from that group. Mary Poor is the president of the association. Mary. Peggy Annual. Peggy, I saw you. Yep, there you are. Welcome. And Dave Stevens. Dave's in the back. We're glad you're here. We're also blessed to have great leadership in this community, and I'd like to recognize the mayor of the great city of Adrian, Jim Berryman. Jim, thanks for being here. And then part of the team that works hard along all the faculty and staff here is known as the Executive Committee of the Administration. The ECA, we call ourselves, the Sister Peg's Administrative Group. And those that I saw, and let me know if I missed anyone, but Lee Johnson, our Senior VP of Business and Finance. Lee. Mark Shearston, our Dean for the College of Art and Sciences. Mark. Bob Metz, our CIO. Hello, Bob. And Linda Pettit, our Dean of the Graduate College. All right. Well, we got to enjoy part of what really we had missed for some years with only having a music minor on campus. We talk about this all throughout the country when Peg and I and some of the team goes out and does talks with alumni and friends all across the country. But a few years ago, we recognized that really we were missing something without having that music major on campus. And so on either side of you, flanked on either side, we really have students and faculty and staff who have really brought this campus back to life. And we're going to get to hear samplings from both of those right now and then toward the end of the program. So our band director, Wes King, and our Siena Heights, this is the part of the concert band is here. Wes King and the Siena Heights University Concert Band. Thank you. And now if we could draw our attention to the other side of the podium, Dr. Elizabeth Tibbs and our Siena Heights University Choir is here. And for those who are able, and if you'd like to, stand while they sing our alma mater. You know, today's about, I think, a lot of things. Mostly about the spectacular piece of artwork that we'll dedicate. And we've had a great deal of time to think and reflect about what this means to our institution. And as I've done that this week, I thought about a number of different things, and really it's been based around truth. And whether it's our Dominican and or Catholic heritage and those traditions, or that of a small liberal arts college, molding young minds, sometimes not so young. And it got me thinking about the nature of truth, whether God gives it to us, or He allows us to create it, or He reveals it to us bit by bit. And I think probably all three of those things are true, but I know this for certain, that He sent a gift to us a number of years ago in the form of Sister Peg to lead us. And I am confident and absolutely to my core sure that this truth of the goodness and the greatness of this organization has become richer and fuller and more well lived by her leadership. So would you all please help me welcome our president, Sister Peg Albert.
Got me crying, now I can't talk. So anyway. But I too am so pleased to be here today to welcome all of you to this wonderful dedication. This magnificent work of art, Chaos Getaria. How often does a smaller university get the opportunity to have such an incredible sculpture on campus? We are indeed blessed by Mary and Sash Spencer's generosity. And just so you all know, the whole Chaos series is dedicated in the loving memory of Sash Spencer, Mary's loving husband. So Mary, Sash is very much with us today, and we're grateful to both of you for your goodness to us. We are also blessed to have Jed Novat's creativity and skill. Jed, you are a wonderful artist, but beyond that, you are such a greater man. So thank you. And by a community here who understands how important this day is for us. We are so blessed. Last Wednesday, I have to tell you, was a very special day for me. Chaos Getaria was installed. I asked Jed, the creator of this great work, if I could interpret this work in any way I wanted to from my own perspective, and of course, he said yes. My feelings and experiences are different each time I contemplate this work of art. But let me share with you my initial experience with this piece. When I look and take in Chaos Getaria, I feel strong. What I see is Siena Heights University, and this is why. I see a strong foundation built on the beauty and strength of the Adrian Dominican sisters who founded this institution. I see the light of God and the truth of Dominic reflected in the light that stems from its foundation. And when you come here at night, you can see that. I see geometric figures that are transparent from all perspectives, as Siena strives to be transparent in all that it does. I see God at the center, and when I look up, I see all the connections and interactions that occur based on our faith in the midst of chaos. For me, the stability comes when the geometric figures are interdependent on one another to achieve balance, just as we at Siena try to achieve balance. As the sculpture reaches toward the sky, with God as its center, so too it is the potential of Siena, which is limitless. I have to tell you that this was a religious experience for me, as I feel God's presence in this piece of work, created by a man of faith and blessed by each one of us today. Perhaps my experience of Chaos Getaria is too simplistic, and I am sure that as time goes on and I contemplate this complex art piece, I will experience more things over time. That's the beauty of art. I invite all of you to spend some time with this wonderful piece of sculpture and enter into its magnificent presence. Thank you once again, Mary and Sash. Thank you, Jed, not only for Chaos Getaria, Jed, but for sharing your expertise the other day with our students and faculty and staff. I thank our art faculty too. Would our art faculty please stand, please? There's some in the back there too. Jed was saying what a wonderful faculty we have, and we're so grateful to all of you. And so I thank you for coming and sharing this special time with us, and enjoy the space that you're in right now. Create new space and new experiences with this piece of art, and just enjoy being with each other, because in the end, That's all we have is each other and relationships and beauty to strengthen those kinds of relationships. So welcome and God bless.
Thank you, Sister Peg. As many of you know, but we can't say it quite often enough, you know, the gift that I referenced in Peg and her leadership and vision really is supported by a really tremendous group of individuals who we're so lucky and blessed to work with, that provide structure and allows all of us, not only Peg, but the whole community, to kick around ideas and thoughts and aspirations and ideas. And in lots of ways, they give us that structure and then help really supply the wind in our sails in so many ways to accomplish all the wonderful things that happen on this campus. And during, I think, all of Sister Peg's tenure, the chair of our board of trustees, that wonderful group, has been and is the Honorable Margaret Noe. And she's here, and she has a few remarks to say. So Margaret, would you please join me?
Welcome. On behalf of the Siena Heights University Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to thank you for being here. You stand witness to a day of greatness. That between us and God, between us as people, of a great and giving world. Marion Sash Spencer, together with the McLaughlin and all the rest of the family and all the other kin, set on a course to serve others. Perhaps, Mary, you were able to touch Sister Jane or Sister Peg, our president, but in fact, I think that in your heart and in Sash's heart, you knew you would touch far more. That when you touched us, you did not just touch this community, you touched a part of the whole world. There is more that happens here for the taking. What you did was you reached far out beyond us and into the university, into our communities, and into our world. You gave us so much to share through your kindness and your benevolence. We cannot ask for God's blessing upon you and your family enough. And without being presumptuous, I believe your sash smiles upon and with us today. In particular, we thank you for placing our hands in the hands of our creative, artistic genius, Jed Novak. She liked that. Was it the creative genius? Yeah, I think so too. But an apt title. You bring us the wonder of your hard work, your hands, and you share with us the nurturing that you have given your skill. Today we will leave inspired, but more importantly, we will spread the word and share the legacy of this great gift. We are now joined in goodness forever. Your names will live in our hearts upon this university, and all who come, and all who leave, and all who journey beyond this university will now bear your print. It's not a small quest. Thank you. My board of trustees are caring, they are bright, and they are articulate, and they are generous people. They stand in awe and amazement at your love and generosity for our Siena Heights University, and again, for the joy we feel and that we will share for all time to come from deep in the hollow of our hearts. Thank you very much. Enjoy this day.
Thank you, Margaret. You know, in addition to the faculty and staff and administration and the trustees, there's a key part of, I mean, really, it's at the core of what we do and what we've been able to do and to accomplish on this campus. And that's the goodness and greatness of those who are willing to invest in our students and provide spaces to live out the mission, and beautiful pieces like this sculpture to reflect upon and think about. And really, none's been any greater than our dear friend Mary. And so it's always a treat to have you on campus. It's always a treat to see you in South Florida too, but it's always great to have you here at home. And it just gives me great pleasure to introduce you and welcome you as Dr. Mary Spencer. Welcome.
Well, I'm so pleased to see so many of our family and friends here today to celebrate the dedication of Jed Novat's monumental sculpture, Chaos Getaria, in memory of my late husband, Sash Spencer. You know, these events are beginning to feel like mini family, especially McLaughlin family reunions with all the extended families as well. And I can't tell you how grateful I am that so many of you want to come and that you do come with love. And I just so appreciate it. This is the sixth in the series of monumental sculptures, gifted domestically and internationally in memory of Sash. Each carry a plaque, and I'd like you to check out the plaque in front of the sculpture with the information about the sculpture, as well as the quote, "In loving memory of Sash Spencer," from his wife Mary. If you're visiting the following cities, you may wish to include a visit to the other memorials. There's one in Atlanta at Savannah College of Art and Design on Peachtree Street, right downtown. Napa Valley, California, in the beautiful little town of Yountville, California, again right in the middle of the town. In Miami at the Perez Art Museum, we have two sculptures. And in Bilbao, Spain, in the park in front of the Guggenheim Museum, we have our fifth sculpture. And it really gives me a great deal of joy when people go into the town hall, for example, in Bilbao, Spain, or in Napa Valley and say, "Who is Sash Spencer? Why do we have a sculpture here for him?" And then they, of course, hopefully tell them a little bit about Sash and tell them to Google him, and his legacy will live forever with this wonderful program. We owe all of this to our collaboration with Jed Novat, who we've known for over 20 years. And when Sash died in 2008, Jed and I agreed to do a series of these monumental sculptures that could be gifted around the world in memory of Sash. Many of you were fortunate to hear Jed talk the other day about art. You know that he attacks each piece with vision and vigor, creating sculptures that appear to topple, but they stand high thanks to his knowledge of physics. Jed especially wanted Chaos Getaria to be here at Siena Heights. He feels it complements the spiritual quality that imbues this campus, and I agree with him. So I hope that all of you will visit this site often. Think of Sash when you do. Thank you for being here today with me to celebrate this wonderful occasion.
Thank you, Mary. You know, this really is like old home week with the McLaughlin family, right? I mean, it's a family reunion. It's wonderful. Not only to have the family here, but I really sincerely believe this and mean this. We're all family now, right? The Siena Heights community and the McLaughlin family, and so it's always great to have you home once again. And as it happens with all of us, God does call us home eventually in some days. But this community and the McLaughlin family are no exception. But we have two folks who will get up today and say a few words regarding their father Edward, and a special gift that they were able to give this campus community in terms of in the form of a bench, which is being utilized right now in the back, and a beautiful shade tree which is over in front of the Spencer Athletic Complex, which will provide beauty in the fall as the leaves change in this northern climate, and shade for those that need the rest during the warm summer months. So it really is a treat to ask Brian and Michael to come up and speak on behalf of the family.
And Mary, gratitude is the proper word today. Really appreciate being here. I want to thank everybody, especially Sienna, for allowing us to memorialize my father. I know he'd be very humbled and pleased to have this beautiful bench and tree here at the university. Dad had a strong faith in his Catholicism, and I think being here is very appropriate for him. I think he'd be very happy. Everybody who knew Dad agreed his character and personality were genuine and witty. I remember being young and extremely shy. I still am. And being all of my father, I loved and envied his ability to be so outgoing, being at ease and making friends, and he kept lifelong relationships. Like most dads, I think, my dad was a role model, an example I try to emulate. He was a faithful husband to my mom. He made me feel safe, secure, and important. I strive to have the work ethic in my career that he had in his. My dad worked at General Motors for over 30 years. I considered him a grinder. He worked hard, he never complained, earned and provided a great lifestyle for his family. My dad passed away in 2007. I often reflect about the advice he may give or opinions he may offer, especially in his humor. Our dad, our family has that trait. We love laughter and humor. My favorite lasting memories is when I was young with my grandparents, my aunts, and uncles. Just the humor was it was great. But what a great impression for children watching family being happy, joking, and roaring with laughter. I hope I live up to the standards of being the person my dad was, especially being a good father and husband. I'm here to say I am proud of being my father's son. Thank you.
I can't follow that. Those that don't know me, I'm Mike McLaughlin. I'd like to thank Sister Peg, Aunt Mary, the Sienna community, the opportunity to dedicate this lovely bench and the tree in my father's name. I miss my dad very much. I was very sad when he passed away. As time goes on, though, sadness turns to happiness, and thinking of the memories of him. Great father, great husband, great provider. He's got 4 beautiful grandchildren, and I know they miss him greatly. And I look forward to coming back here and being able to sit on that bench in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael and Brian, and thank you for your goodness to our students in this community. It's greatly appreciated. You know, we exist here to live out a mission where we can really help influence people in very positive ways. And that's done in the classroom, and because we're a Dominican liberal arts institution, we believe that happens outside of the classroom as well. And it's done by very dedicated people who really commit their lives to helping others in varied ways. And they have expertise in different areas, different concentrations. But occasionally, we get to have folks come to campus and teach us all, students, faculty, and staff. And this week, it's really been a tremendous treat to have Jed on this campus. Truly an internationally known and respected artist to talk with our faculty and staff, to teach our students, to interact with staff and administration. It's been tremendous, and it's something that we won't soon forget. And it sounds like through conversation that this may not be the last time Jed comes to campus and interacts with our family, and that gives us great joy. So Jed's going to come and say a few words today about this piece. But I just have to say, Jed, it really is a blessing to have you with us. Please.
Well, I certainly can say that I love Siena Heights. And Adrian. In fact, I said to Anna last night, we're moving. I look at this front row here, and I might be saying this wrong. I remember in the 70s on the Pittsburgh Steelers, the defensive line called the Steel Curtain, if I remember that correctly. You guys are more impressive. The mayor, the judge, Mary, Sister Jean, Sister Peg. And this is what I felt all week, is that there's a tremendous passion that you guys bring to this community, and strength. And I'm very grateful to be a small part of that. And thank you. Inevitably, I'm going to forget somebody on this, but I have so many people to thank, and I'll do my best to honor that. First and foremost, I always think of Sash, and I met Sash in 1988. It's actually a lot more than 20 years ago now. Not 80, but more than 20. But Sash was, I've been very fortunate to have engaged with a lot of collectors internationally. And the art world has changed radically over the years. And it's become a lot about speculation rather than love of art. And Sash just loved art. And he loved artists. And as a very young artist, it was a tremendously powerful experience to be around somebody like Sash, because I knew he really only cared about art and artists. So I want to start with Sash and thank him always, as I do. Mary, I think of you and Sash as one. And so my experience with this project has been such an honor in so many ways. And as you know, since I don't really put much into words, I prefer putting it into that. I'll let that speak for itself. I was advised anyway many years ago by an artist who said, let your art speak and keep your mouth shut. And I think that's probably a very good thing. My wife agrees. I want to thank Lee Johnson, Dr. Johnson, who's been, where's Lee? Lee, has been an incredibly generous participant in this project and has been very patient, I think, in many ways. I think there's so many things that go on today with projects which are very complicated and sensitive, and particularly in the age that we live, where everything's on the internet instantly and there's almost no privacy anymore. And I think of art as a very private and personal experience. In this case, it's in this community. But Lee, you've just been an immense help in this whole project, and I'm greatly appreciative. And I think Siena Heights is very, very fortunate to have you here. I'm leaving, by the way, the great Sister Peg and Sister Jean for the last. Jenny Engel, who's somewhere, Jenny. Jenny, thank you for everything. Jenny's been an immense help through this whole project. She's always very courteous, and she too hasn't told me to shut up, which I think is amazing, because there have been numerous accounts where you should have. Thank you. Scott Hill is here somewhere. Scott is sort of the genius behind, creating things as well. And Scott, too, has been just a very patient and incredibly helpful person. And I really consider he and both Lee to be new friends. In fact, we're going water skiing at Lee's. Everybody's invited after this, okay? Lee told me to ask you to come. And then I want to discuss what I think is the most important thing here in many ways, are Natalie, Bob, Tim, and Matt. If you guys would all stand up, if you're here. Some are hiding. Two are in the back. Tim and Bob are in the back. Matt, I don't see. Natalie's there. They are your professors of art here, of fine arts. And I was very fortunate to have them take me around the other day. They took a lot of time and took me around to show me the studios, which are really fantastic. But what you have, which is very rare here, is you have 4 working, living, creative artists, and in a community where the students are able to participate with them, where many schools it's not possible. So I think everybody should give a huge round of applause for the professors of art. And then we get down to Sister Jean and Sister Peg, which I realize are 2 very different people, but I'm so honored to have a work here. And even though I say that probably all the time when I come to these things, I really mean it this time. I really am so touched by being part of this community and having an opportunity to share something that I believe so deeply in, that has absolutely nothing to do with the commerce of our lives, really, and ends up having everything to do with faith and a belief that there is definitely something greater than us. And I think art is one of these small sort of ladders to that. And I'm again thankful that you've given me this chance to have this work here with Mary. So I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Jed. Well, it wouldn't be a dedication without a blessing, would it? And really, I think one of the great things about Siena Heights is, I think we've lived it the last close to 40 minutes here in this space. I mean, how many times, I haven't counted, but I know it's been a lot. How many times have we referenced God and faith, right? Something much bigger and larger, right, than us, knowing that we give thanks for lots of things, but we know where it ultimately belongs and is due. And some of you know this, a lot of the folks here, but some that have traveled in some distance may not. Mary, how long have you been working on the Heritage Project? A year and 2 months, so about 14 months. Sister Mary Jones has been an employee of Siena Heights, and her primary purpose is to work with everyone, the entire campus community, to deepen the understanding of what it means to be Dominican, what it means to be at a Catholic institution, even though we welcome students from all different faith traditions and backgrounds. And her work's been funded through the generosity of others, but it really is pretty special when you look at the landscape of higher education today and where people put their focus. And we've been very intentional to bring such a wonderful woman, an Adrian Dominican sister, here to this campus to work with all of us to deepen our understanding. And if I can take a page out of Sister Peg's book, she talks to lots of groups and talks about our growth, and she'll go, you know, kind of like this, and you can see it, right? It's popped up throughout this campus, whether it's the stadium or the University Center, the sculpture, the new residence hall that's being built. But she also says we're deepening too, and that's just as important. And through the Heritage Project, that's just another step, right, moving forward. So Mary, we're thankful for you and your work. Would you please come up and say a few words and help us bless this beautiful piece of art?
Thank you, Mitch. It truly is a blessing for me to be here, to be an Adrian Dominican sister, and to walk with the entire community. And without further ado, let us offer a blessing for this beautiful piece of art. We gather today to take a moment to offer gratitude for the wonderful sculpture that has been bestowed upon our campus. We give thanks for the incredible talent of Jed Novat, whose Chaos Sculpture series is world-renowned, and to Mary Spencer, whose generosity brought this creative gem to our university. The configuration elements of Chaos Getaria teeter precariously on a strong foundation as a reminder of how fragile our journey on Earth can be. It reflects our mission, for it is how we treat others and our planet that can be the difference between remaining in balance or falling off kilter. Let this beautiful sculpture be a reminder of who we are as a community, that we stand on a strong foundation in how we live the mission here at Siena Heights University. And so, in the name of our God, who is our Creator, the Son, who is our Sanctifier, and the Holy Spirit, who inspires us all, I would like to invite our President, Sister Peg, Sister Jean O'Laughlin, Mary Spencer, Jed Novat, and senior art student, Michaela Cherry, to bless this sculpture with water brought from our Mother House Fund, where the inspiration for art on this campus began. And let us all say, Amen.
So not just in the spoken word, but also with song. Our Siena Heights University Choir will also sing a blessing. Thank you, Beth, and members of the choir. It was truly wonderful. Thank you so much. Before we end with our concert band, I'd like to I recognize a few folks. I saw Trustee Lisa Overland come in. I didn't do so earlier in the program, so Lisa, thank you for being here. Nice to see you. And then a special thanks, obviously, to so many people, a lot of whom have been referenced this afternoon. But to Lee Johnson and Scott Hill for orchestrating this. I understand through conversation, and Brian Bertram, I understand that sometimes installations can take 12 to 18 hours. Ours took somewhere between 3 to 4, and 2.5, it was just like clockwork. So gentlemen, great job. Thank you so much. And then days like today take, well, many weeks, sometimes months of planning as well. And I'm blessed to work with a very talented group of individuals. This effort led by Jenny Engel and the advancement team. Could you all just kind of raise your hands? Of course, Deb Keller in the President's office always plays a big role. So thank you so much.